You're worthy of your own love.
Just because you got broken up with does not mean you are not worthy of love someday.
I'm the strong one. I'm the capable one. You have a natural compass.
In this video, I am sharing my 11 guiding framework that I use every single day and that will grow you in 2025. I'm making this video because each of these frameworks originates from a lesson I needed to learn at some point in my life. If you look at life as chapters and each chapter containing a lesson, it'll make it that much easier to navigate what your future can look like. So let's get into it. Hey folks, I'm Vin. I use they, them, theirs pronouns, and this is the Venn diagram, which is dedicated to the intersection of my life experiences. I cover self-development in harmony with emotional intelligence and ambition. And I'm making this video so that I can give you some frameworks to move you through life. Not only am I sharing my current 11 principles that I live by, but I will also share what propelled me that led me to believe these so fiercely. I'm hoping to make this video an annual practice so I can reflect on how well I've lived by these frameworks and how they can fluctuate and evolve over time, just like we really all should. So the first principle is Moviti. And Moviti means to move in Italian. So I was born in Milan, Italy, and that's because my parents immigrated there in the late 1980s, and that's where they had me. To me, this word means movement and also represents the sacrifices my parents made. That is, their youth. They sacrificed their 20s, 30s, and 40s so that I could have an opportunity at a better life. They moved to Italy, and then they moved again to the United States because they didn't see the socioeconomic mobility that they felt I deserved to have. I actually got this tattoo of Moviti on my outer calf as a reminder of those steps that they took and in the symbolism of the beginning of my own immigration journey. So for me, Moviti, it's an acknowledgement of movement, and movement can be rest, can be forward and backward motion, and to embody Moviti is to accept that life is meant to be lived and that we have to keep going. And in order for me to keep going, it requires a high level of self-understanding. Fun fact, I also have a newsletter named Moviti. I'll leave that in the description if you're interested in productivity and wellness tips on a weekly basis. Okay, now I'm gonna pack up, go for a little drive. Simple joys. This guiding principle is rooted in the belief that there's really no greater joys in life than the simple joys. And for me, that's spending time with my mom, my romantic partner, and my chosen family. It's going on a bike ride, watching the ocean tide move backwards and forwards, spending hours reading a good book, and most importantly, knowing my loved ones are safe and healthy. And no amount of stuff is worth more than any of these experiences. And I urge you to search for the simple joys in a world that's so complicated by our attention towards social media, stuff we don't need, and accolades that really mean nothing. Asking for help is a necessity. In my friend circles, I'm the strong one, I'm the capable one. I have learned that while that can be true, it is also true that I'm gonna need to ask for help every now and then. And in fact, I believe it is a necessity to exist at all as a living being. While I don't think that everyone needs a romantic partner, and granted, I do have one, I love him very dearly, I do believe that everyone needs community. And if you look at nature, nothing in nature lives on its own. Everything lives in harmony with each other. For humans, we need people that can support us, cheer us on, and be there for us at whatever stage we are in life. In the United States, which is where I live, society is shaped to be incredibly individualistic. In most white American families, when you're 18, you're expected to leave the home and figure it out. We're supposed to not seek help from others. We're supposed to never admit that we have any kind of weaknesses. And we're supposed to believe that the only ones we can rely on is ourselves. This is just not true. We should be able to rely on our neighbors when we have a flat tire. And I think you really have to start with this question. If it's so hard for you to ask for help, who let you down and has made you stop being able to trust people? And I want you to know that there are trustworthy people out there that truly can be there for you. You just have to give them and yourself a chance. Exhaust all possibilities. I love this one. And it doesn't doesn't mean don't give up. Because eventually you gotta cut our losses, move on. But exhaust all possibilities for me means do all that you can with all that you have. And then, give up if you have to. But this really forces me to think, is there another way of doing this? Have I truly thought about this in all possible perspectives? How would an expert in this subject handle this situation? How would my mom? What would my mom do? I want you to train yourself to believe that in most cases, you can figure it out. But don't give up so easily. Ask for help. See the previous point. Look it up on YouTube. Exhaust all possibilities. And give yourself an honest and true try. Your feelings are not facts. This one was a big aha moment for me, especially in 2023. I've always been a fairly emotionally aware person. It comes from having had to face a lot of different things in my lifetime. And some of that includes domestic violence, immigrating to a new country at a very young age, being in a low-income household, low-income neighborhood, kind of a broken home, and a lot of other factors. And all of this happened before I was like 17. So I've had to process a lot of feelings in my life. I've always been told ever since I was young that I was really mature. And that is what adults say to children that have been through usually traumatic and hard experiences that they've had to just figure out how to do. Whoever says that to people, it's not usually a compliment. And when I say process your feelings, it's not just feeling your feelings. It's feeling them, acknowledging them, understanding them, and knowing how to move forward from the feelings. I used to believe that my feelings were the ultimate truth, that what I felt is the reality of a situation, and that my feelings gave me the right to get angry at people, to lean into my addictions, and to behave really poorly. But your feelings are not facts. That's the point of this guiding principle. Your feelings are an interpretation of the facts. And once I started to realize this, my feelings controlled my actions less and less. My feelings inform my perceptions of the world and my understanding of myself. But feelings are not definitive because they are an assessment of the truth. They're an estimate of the truth. I can feel angry because someone cut me off on the freeway, but that anger does not justify me endangering 3 other people and cutting them off in spite of that one person. It's okay for you to be angry because something happened, but it's not okay to let that anger out in a way that risks the lives of others. And a less extreme example would be, I can be sad and heartbroken for as long as you might need to, but it is not okay to allow this sadness and heartbreak to consume your self-worth and every other aspect of your life. Just because you got broken up with does not mean you are not worthy of love someday. Your feelings are not fact. They are an interpretation of the facts. So make time to really understand your situation and make time to understand what your feelings are telling you. Reflecting on a journal can be really helpful. Maybe even recording a video where you try to air out your feelings and then listen to them again can be, a way that you can observe your feelings instead of just feeling them. I highly recommend. Every day, find a point of humility. Humility, the quality of having a modest or low view of one's importance. Never think you are better than anyone, that your problems are more important, because that's when you become inconsiderate of others. The slippery slope of our ego's desire for attention. This next one is Love Me More. In 2023, my favorite song was Love Me More by Sam Smith. My 2024 favorite song was a song by Gaho, which is theme song of my favorite K-drama, which is Itaewon Class. Anyway, I digress. Sam Smith's Love Me More. This song is an anthem to love ourselves more, to accept ourselves, understand ourselves, and really see ourselves for all that we are. To love our flaws, our mistakes, to learn from them and become better as people. Or simply accepting that we lack in certain skill sets and the way that we take up space in the world being just fine as it is. You're worthy of your own love. Believe that. I don't know if this is the best way to phrase this one, but know your needs is to know yourself. Understand what brings you joy. Understand what you need in crisis. Understand what you need after a day at work. To know these things about yourself is to truly give space for all that you are. Not only that, but knowing our needs helps us be able to serve the needs of others too. It allows us to be able to ask for help in the ways we actually need.
Some Days Today and the Next Right Thing. Some Days Today is one of my favorite self-development books from 2024, and it's written by Matthew Dix, my favorite storyteller. I made a video about that book. The premise of the book, it's about not waiting for someday to do something. It's doing it today, like right now. I would rather fail and make a million mistakes, exhaust all possibilities that I can in my lifetime. And I would rather do that than be on my deathbed with a life full of regrets. Thinking about the things I didn't try, the people I didn't reach out to, and the experience I didn't give myself the chance of doing. So make someday today. And the combo principle with this one is to do the next right thing. So you might want to run a marathon, but you need to put your shoes on first. You need to run for a block. You need to run for that first mile, then another, and another, and another. So do the next right thing and show up for yourself daily. And the goal you seek will come closer and closer in view, faster than you even realize. But you can only do the next right thing because otherwise you might overwhelm yourself and quit way too soon. So give yourself a fighting chance and try. Intuition is a superpower. So I'm still working through this one, but this year I have felt my intuition just strengthen, or maybe I'm just learning how to listen to it properly. But in 2022, I moved from San Diego, my home of 11 years, to the city of Chicago for 2 years. I started there from scratch, not knowing anybody except for my partner, who gratefully was willing to come with me. And in that time, I became so much more in tune with everything that I really am, because no offense to my friends, but I didn't have the distraction of needing to hang out with people all the time. My intuition is now what I listen to first, over like the impulse of desire and what other people expect of me. Intuition for me is a compass for what I feel is right or wrong, or what I should or should not be doing. And I think that as I've become more self-actualized, as I've healed more of myself, my ability to listen to my intuition and my intuition itself has gotten stronger. You have a natural compass when there's new information to process, but we have been taught a lot by society that competes with this natural intuition, and it's the ideas that we have to do these things by a certain time. We have to buy these things to have a meaningful life, that we need to hit these metrics and goals by the time we're 35, married by this age, have children at this age. But I believe listening to ourselves is far more important than listening to the noise of the world. Honor your intuition, and it will pay you back in good company, good choices, and a balanced life that's really made and meant for you. And my last lesson is to leave the world and its people better than you found them. In the last 2 years, I've really been able to dream for myself again and not be in a survival or crisis mode. And so I've had a space to think about others again. I want to leave the world and its people better than I found them. And while I'm still working on that, it's the North Star of all of these principles. So these are my guiding principles and the frameworks you need to grow. I hope you apply these in 2025, and I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, so I think I've filmed enough in my car, and I think I need to repark because this is like a street sweeping block for another 15 minutes. I guess I could also just wait 15 minutes. Okay, I have one more principle that I need to shoot, but I'm so grateful that it's cloudy today because it gives me perfect lighting anywhere I'm at. Because if I had to deal with the sun, I'd have to like worry about like shadows. Or basically anywhere is like perfect, even lighting. Underrated about gloomy days. I didn't plan to ride a bike at all, but I did. I'm glad I did because it allowed me to be a little more flexible with what I'm doing. But now I gotta ride back, and I rode 5 miles out, another 5 miles back to my car. Things you'll do for a good video, you know? Okay, I totally gonna end the video here, but my legs are jelly. I forgot. I did a leg workout yesterday. I was like, why am I having such a hard time biking 10 miles? It's like not a lot. I did squat jumps and I did like weighted stuff. Like my quads are on fire. Plus I haven't ridden a bike in like 2 or 3 weeks, so body's just not used to it. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.